Oh, woo! Welcome to D-Mop Garage. These things are awesome. So check out these bad boys. They're called Eyemuffs. Made here in Australia. George up in Queensland makes these things, and I just ordered a set. Mate, they're unreal. Let's just unbox it. Quality of this thing is so good. So they come with the instruction manual, USB charger, and this awesome case. So let's just check this out. So these are grinding goggles that have earmuffs, and obviously the earmuffs are Bluetooth. You can sync them to your phone, you can listen to tunes, you can answer your phone if someone's calling you. They're fantastic. So they're about 300 bucks Australian, so obviously cheaper in the States or Europe, wherever you are. And it just beats using, and you guys would have seen me use these things. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'll just show you with these guys. When you put them on, if you try to get this all the way down, there's still a gap here, and sparks and stuff can still fly up inside. So they're not that good. They're cumbersome. They're just, you know, I mean, that's probably more of a brush cutter, whippersnipper sort of setup. But for when I'm doing grinding and whatever work here, they're just a nightmare. They get in the way. Hate them. And I saw those on Full Custom Garage, you know, Ian's channel. He's on YouTube now. And he was wearing a set of these, and I just, as soon as I saw them, I'm like, what the hell, I've got to get them. So did a bit of research, found out, stoked that they're Australian and they're, you know, up here. Really, really good quality, you can tell. I mean, look at the little chrome, little insignia on the side there, that's awesome. And they've obviously got volume control. You can see here, you got on and off. You can scroll but through your songs as well. You press the button here, it'll turn itself off. Actually, it actually speaks to you inside, which is pretty cool. I suppose this is the thing. If you're doing this sort of work and you're grinding and spending a lot of time, fantastic. You don't miss the phone call, if you know, that sort of thing too. So very, very cool product. Links in the description where you can buy them from. You can see here, that's all your instructions. So yeah, G6 Eyemuffs, and they're wireless. Fantastic. All right, let's get on. Let's see what we're doing today with today's effort. We're going to get the spring plate and all the donut sorted in here. We've got to get it off the hoist, so I'm just going to put some jacks down on the ground so we can get it off this part here. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to slip everything on. So we'll get that sorted. Once we've done that, we are going to move our attention to the engine, and we're going to get the engine nipped up. I've got the assembly lube and other bits and pieces, so we're going to get onto that. So yeah, let's get cracking. Let's get this thing down the bottom and get some spring plates on it. Okay, so we've got some rubber grease. We're just going to put that over the donut. I don't know why I call it a donut, but I just do. Just a good idea. Stop squeaking and whatever else. A little bit on there, a little bit on the inside. Pop that in, like so. And put a bit on this one as well. Right, now this is the tricky part because we've got to get them, the splines lined up. Okay, let's tap this little guy home. Okay, that side's done. We'll go over to the other side and get that done. Jobs are done. Let's put it back up. So we are going to start assembling the motor. We have to pull it apart first because we've got assembly lube that we have to use on all the moving componentry. So let's just split the halves We have no bolts in this at all. We're good. Okay, so split this like so. We'll pop him aside. One thing we do have to check is our bearings. We just need to make sure that all the holes lining up. I'm going to take the cam out. And we also are going to take the crankshaft out. So this little bearing here, there's a little hole where the oil obviously goes through, and we're not quite central in the hole, so we have to double check it. We need to take it out just a little bit bigger, and we'll use a Dremel to do that. We've just enlarged that hole a little bit bigger. Let's just see how we go here. Okay, so we've got the bearing halves all clearanced out, so our oil galleries are good. We're ready to put the crank back in. We're going to put some assembly lube on this bearing here, smear it on that, and put some here on the cam's going to go. We're going to grab our crank. It's looking good. Locked in, we're good. Next is going to be crankshaft assembly lube on this sucker, which we have already. Make sure our alignments are correct and everything is hunky-dory, which it is. Beautiful. Now, need assembly lube on here. And put assembly lube on that. Okay, everything else is good. That's stringers in. Done, done. Assembly lube. Everything's spinning. Now we've got to get our gasket goop for around the edge, and also our cam plug, which is this little guy, around our surfaces where they need to go. We'll just start over here, and I'm just going to go righto. Time to put the case on. Now I've got to get these make sure we're all good there. Looking good. All good there. Can put the pump in. Okay, onto the pump. This is where we need to get our gearing correct. Okay, we can start putting some nuts and bolts on it. Okay, so we'll start torquing up the bolts. We've got 14 foot-pounds for the smaller little guys here. I think I've pretty much got them close to they're already there. Yeah. Yeah. Now these ones are 18. Okay, strainer, goopy strainer time, and I've got to get this in the right angle, like that. There it is. So I'm going to put. We've got one more gasket. And I'm just putting a bit of the Permatex gasket goop. I'll just put a little bit on here. And a bit on the gasket as well. Paintedness. Like that. And we're going to clean our hands. And we want to put a little bit of goop got to get some washers. Right, one more job ticked off. Now, we still need to find one bolt for the back there. Just there, there's a missing bolt. So I'll have to go through my collection and see what we've got. Okay, oil pump is next. We've got our gasket with our goop on it. And let's just place that on, like so. A little bit of sealant on there. We don't want oil leaks, do we? Now, this had a wear mark on it, and we're going to replicate the wear mark. Put a little bit of lube on these cogs, like so, and the orientation is that way. Just like that. Come on, it's always one, isn't there? Always one that just wants to screw up. Okay, let's just finger tight these suckers in. Okay, so we've got a few more components to put on. How is this piece of jewellery? It doesn't belong on a motor. Look at it, I gave it a polish up. That is the oil pressure switch. You know, how cool is that, hey? I'm just fingers crossed it's going to work, but I mean, that is the coolest little piece of motor jewellery you can have. We're going to screw her into her spot here. And we'll tighten that one up. Very nice indeed. We also have the oil cooler. I've given that a clean up as well. So that's going to sit right on top here. We've got our rubber O-rings on there. That's going to basically pop on like that. All right, give those a torque up. So we've put in the distributor drive, and with these 25 horses you can get your finger in here and just lower it down with the washer, so it's actually quite an easy thing to get it in. We've got our little cog here that we have to line up inside, make sure that that's correct, and we should be good to go. Hopefully this will slide in and engage. Want to make sure that we're home. That's number one firing position. We're home and hose in there. All right, good to go. We have our new cap for it too. That's our new rotor button. Or rotor cap, I should say. Clicks on like that. Both sides. One more part done. Oh, this is going to be a very pretty motor when she's done. All right, let's keep moving on. A couple more bits and pieces. I've just put the fuel pump on. Just the bottom part of the fuel pump. Unfortunately, the top half, I don't have a couple of the components that are inside it, and I also don't have the screws. So I've got to go searching for that stuff from probably another motor if I can find it. Yeah, so that's probably about as much as we can do on the motor until we get the heads back from the head shop, because the valve guides need to be replaced. And also the exhaust valves, I've got to order a set of those from the States or Europe, I'm not sure. So it'll be a little bit of time. So the bearings did arrive from Das Resto. They got here in a day, which is insane, from Queensland. So we've got our new races here, which we're just about to pop them home. Yeah, got all the new bearings. We're just going to press the new races in, just using this tool here. Obviously it fits over the top like that, and then we can just tappy. So let's get that done. These should just go straight in. Now, we'll probably have to swap over to another one. Oh, we're out. Let's pop this one back out again, because he hasn't gone in square. And when they don't go in square, you're in trouble. So we will just quickly tap him back out. And start again. Got to go in square. Very, very important. We'll just try and eyeball it and get it as square as we can. About right there. Give it a tap. Now what's happening now is I think we are a little bit too, we'll just swap down to a smaller size. Hopefully this one will do it. I think it will. We'll see how that goes. Oh, there you go, change of sound. Change of sound. Okay, we're going to swap these over to the other side and let's get those bearings out. Okay, we're going to need a slightly bigger blue one. Oh yeah, that's perfect. 72 mil. And hear the sound change. Oh, I broke my hammer. What the heck? Look at that. Cheapness. You know what? I'm going to weld those. You can see I've already welded the head back on. I'm just going to weld that. Weld it back on. Ah. Great tools, these. Righto. We will take those down to the brake shop and continue. Okay, so what are the next things we're doing is sand blasting. You can see I've already started. Got a couple of bits of the tinware done already. These are to go. Rocker covers came up pretty good. And bits of the tinware. I've just actually ordered satin powder and gloss powder coating and also some heat-proof black for the exhaust as well. So that's coming from Oxytech. Scott has hooked us up. Got the compressor, the power fixed as well. Power company came and they boosted up my voltage. So we've got 240. So compressor's happy, lucky stuff. All right, that will do it for this episode, guys. I've got a lot of sandblasting to do. That's boring. You guys don't want to see any of that. But I will bring you back in the next episode when we will get all this stuff powder coated. So yeah, stay tuned for that episode. See ya. Yo.